Call the meeting in order, please. All rise. We'll have Mr. Stevens say the prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this awesome day you blessed us with. We thank you for our friends and our family. Most importantly, we thank you for sending your son, Jesus, to die for us. And Lord, we just thank you so much for your grace. And we thank you for our community. And Lord, we just pray that you be with us all here tonight. Help us make the best decisions that will best benefit our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Can we do roll call, please?
Yes. Punky Stevenson. Laura Wagner is absent. Mayor Donnie Pruitt.
Here.
Judy Poulter.
Here.
And John Krasinski.
Here. All right, well, thanks everybody for coming. Got a good turnout tonight, and I'm glad. First off, we'll just get along with old business because we went and postponed this till tonight. And we have, I want to welcome Chip Palomino. Palomini. Excuse me for butchering that.
No worries.
But I'd like to welcome him tonight. He's going to present the Betty Technology Project we're starting at the airport. I wish, please, we'll just let him do his speech and talk to us. Then we'll let the council ask the questions. And then after that, is it okay if the audience asks you questions, sir?
Absolutely.
And after that, then we'll turn it over to the audience. So, do you mind stepping right on up and...
Sure. Thanks for having me tonight.
Thanks for coming.
It was a long flight. We flew 5 hours to get here.
Yeah,
Good. There's a little bit of weather that way. You all might have saw this morning.
yeah, we just had it.
Little
last
bumpy,
night.
yeah. So at Beta, we're focused on the future of electric flight. So there's three primary things when we think of electric aviation. There's the aircraft that we're developing, which is an all-electric battery-powered airplane. It's got a 50-foot wingspan. It's roughly the size of a Cessna Caravan, which they use quite often for cargo. Once you have the airplane, you need pilots that can fly it. So right now, we're heavily engaged with the FAA on airman certification. So that's how does a pilot get licensed to fly this type of aircraft. And then the third piece we're heavily focused on, because once you have pilots and the aircraft, then you need a place to recharge. So that's what I focus on at Beta, is building out our charging network. So that gives our customers the ability to fly our aircraft places. Right now, we're focused on cargo. And mostly when we think of cargo, our three customers are UPS, United Therapeutics for an organ delivery mission, and the U.S. Air Force. So the U.S. Air Force mission is how we came upon your airport. So our first route that we built out to fly our airplane from Burlington, Vermont to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So we have 4 charging stations along the way. So we have Rome, New York, we have Elmira, New York, we have Jamestown, New York, Akron Canton Airport, and then Springfield, Ohio, and that gets us to Wright-Patterson with our aircraft for our Air Force contract. After that, we had a customer who said we want to be able to go to Bentonville, Arkansas, and then the Air Force said we also need to be able to get to Kelly Airfield in San Antonio, Texas. So that continues our route directly from Burlington, Vermont, where we're based, down through Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Bentonville, Arkansas, and San Antonio, Texas. So that initial route will be flown by Beta and the Air Force. The main purpose of the charging station is to be able to reposition aircraft from where we make them in Vermont and get them down to Kelly Field in San Antonio. So I think you might be wondering how did we come across this, your town and your airport. So the way we found you was we draw pretty much a straight line from the closest charger we had, which is say Springfield, Ohio, and then to get to Bentonville, Arkansas. And that gives us a straight line on an aviation map. And then we start looking about every 100 miles for where we can charge. Because if there's a big headwind, you never land an airplane on empty. We have to land with 30 minutes of fuel on a nice day and 45 minutes of fuel if it's bad weather like today. That's the minimum FAA requirements. So with a decent headwind, that can put the spacing to about 100 miles. So then around that 100-mile range, we find some airports, and then we start calling them. So that's how we found your airport. And Eddie and the team were very, friendly to talk to, seemed very excited about the project. So the other, we reached out to West Plains Regional and a few other airports in the region. But Mountain View was like the most welcoming for the project. So that's how we ended up here tonight. So the chargers that we deploy work for our aircraft and other electric aircraft. They're not custom to Beta. There are about 200 other companies that say they're working on electric aircraft. There's about 5 that are flying prototypes today of electric aircraft. We hit a major milestone last week with our aircraft where we had 2 U.S. Air Force test pilots fly our aircraft in Burlington, Vermont. So that was the first time the Air Force has flown all electric. So now the next step is to be able to take the prototypes and be able to fly them to Detachment 62 and down to Kelly Airfield. And so in order to do that, we want to be able to put an electric airplane charger in at your airport.
What kind of traffic are we looking at?
In the beginning, so from Beta, you're not looking at a lot of traffic. We have 2 flying prototypes now. We'll build another one this year, so we'll have 3 aircraft total. The Air Force will likely end up buying somewhere between another 5 or 10 in like 2 years. So in the beginning, it's like maybe 1 a month of our aircraft. Since the Charger does work with other aircraft, you could start to see traffic from other aircraft, but other electric aircraft, but I expect that volume would be very low.
And what is the closest charging station right now to Mountain View? Is it the Vermont one you're talking about?
No, the closest operational one is Springfield, Ohio. And then we're putting some in Illinois and Perryville as well.
Okay.
What's the weight of that plane?
It's a 7,000-pound airplane.
We can handle that easy.
Yeah.
And the wingspan is 50 feet.
50 foot, yeah.
How long does it take you to charge after 100 miles?
After 100 miles, it'll take you about 40 minutes.
And you,
100 is only your half. 100 is only your emergency fuel, right? What's your total?
Our total range is 250.
250.
Yeah,
And
but we
then
don't
how-
like to land on empty.
And how long does it take to recharge for the two? once you're
For
done?
250 is about 60 minutes.
now I know, we're all worried about money, expense.
Yep.
So can you explain that?
Sure, so we have 12 chargers that are installed and operational right now. We have another 63 chargers that are in permitting. The way those chargers get deployed is one of 3 methods. The method that we've suggested for this airport is Beta incurs all the expense to install it, and then the city would get a 10% profit share for letting us install the charger.
And that charger's got a meter on it, I assume.
Yep. Yeah, we would have an electric meter, just like at your house. And we
Yeah.
pay that electric bill.
Right. So we put a meter to run your charger.
Yep.
And then we get paid
You get paid, we pay you for the electricity, and then we give you 10% of the profit as well.
10% of the other, yeah.
Of what?
So when someone comes to recharge the electric airplane, Beta would bill them to recharge their electric airplane, just like they would pay for fuel, right?
Because Beta, the meter we charge, the meter would be charged in your name.
Yeah.
So the meter, we'd always bill them.
Yeah.
Every month, they
Yeah.
get a bill. And
So-
then when a plane comes in, the way I understand it, and charges, they pay you,
Yeah.
and then you give us 10% plus we get the
Yes.
meter charge.
That's correct.
So if I fly my electric plane in and drop it in there to get it recharged,
Yeah,
I'm paying you,
yes, that's correct.
and then you're making money off of that to
Correct.
recoup off of your expense of putting it all in.
Exactly, yeah. And we pay you for the
But
electricity.
also-
And it goes to the city.
But also the meter's running.
Yeah,
Or
but also
our
the
meter's
meter.
running.
Yeah, so you make money off the electricity that you sell us through that meter.
You're the go-between.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And installation, I mean, I'm sure you've looked at how far you gotta run
Yeah.
that 3-amp, at the 3-phase,
Yep, we gotta run the 3-phase, and we're gonna increase the conductor size as well. You did that project on the south side of the airport, the south side of the high school, it looks like, to increase the conductor size there. So we're gonna increase that to where we would take the power off of, where's that, 5 Corners, I think?
Yeah, 5 corners up, yeah,
Yeah.
right, close to the airport.
Yeah. So we would do, yeah, so we do that and then run the power down on the easement.
Underground,
Yeah, I think that's what's planned, right?
underground?
From 5 Corners, we just done that reconductor,
Yes,
put 336.
to the top of the hill.
Yeah, so at 5 Corners heading west is still 4 ACSR. So where they were concerned about the power drop, they're gonna put 336 all the way up to West James to where they're gonna tie in and go underground to the airport. So there would be no under conductor size.
Right, getting to the airport.
Yeah.
And there would be underground from West James down to the airport.
Right.
He would be responsible for maintenance.
We do maintenance on the chargers. So they're relatively low maintenance. We do an annual service visit. It's like a tune-up.
These planes haul passengers? I mean, are they passenger planes or just cargo planes?
Right now, they're cargo. In the future, they would become passenger planes.
You talking future?
2030-ish, 2028.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years.
So are these chargers proprietary?
No,
You guys build them, you guys buy them?
we build them. Yep. There's no one else focused on electric aircraft charging right now. So we build them, but the connector on the end is not proprietary. So you can actually charge like a Ford F-150 Lightning off of it, you can charge Rivians off of it, you can charge a lot of electric vehicles off of it. But part of building this network is also to build an electric aircraft network. A lot of companies have spent a lot of money trying to make electric cars. The only one who succeeded was Tesla, and that's because they built a charging network to sell their cars, right? So it's very synonymous. I think the personal opinion, not a beta opinion, is that the mistake Tesla made is you can only charge a Tesla on a Tesla charger, and that doesn't support the industry. That only supports Tesla. So we want to put out chargers that everyone's electric planes and electric cars can charge on.
If you don't mind, on your business,
Yeah.
is it strictly private funds, or how is it funded?
It's a good question. So we have an Air Force contract, and we have a contract from United Therapeutics, a few other contracts, but we
UPS.
we have a contract from UPS. We are funded predominantly through Fidelity and Amazon Climate Pledge Fund.
Any grants or anything, any help from them?
We do have grants, but nothing that would be nothing that would be used on this project.
Well, I'm worried about overall, your overall solvency of the business, because
Oh,
you go out of business
Yeah.
6 months from now.
Yeah.
We have a charger that we can't service and you build.
yep. It's a good concern. So we, in May of last year, so about 11 months ago, we raised about $470 million.
Are these planes drone type or runway?
Runway. So it can take off and land vertically, but that uses a lot more energy, which is why we like putting the chargers at airports, because then you can land on the runway, which uses a lot less energy. So at an airport, you wouldn't do a vertical takeoff and landing. Yeah.
Having contracts with UPS and the like.
Yeah.
That's for straight cargo shipping?
Yeah.
And you're telling me it's only gonna be once a month?
Well, so we don't operate the aircraft. We sell the aircraft. So in our conversations, I can't guarantee you what the volume from UPS would be. If they're not currently, I don't think UPS currently flies into this airport,
They
right?
bought a bunch of your planes.
Yes,
And they have ordered, I should say. And then, so we, as in you and I, don't really know how much shipping can and will go on through these terminals yet.
correct. Yep, correct.
And on the organ donor, before you flying that into Little Rock or
Right now, it's focused on the East Coast.
East Coast?
Yep. Eventually, that'll get expanded. It's a pretty unique process, so it's not a traditional organ donation mission. What United Therapeutics does, and I can send you all some links to some videos, is they have a process where they take, so the lungs are the last organ to be explanted, and quite often the lungs are not at like a transplant worthy status, so they end up becoming medical waste. So United Therapeutics developed a process where they can rehabilitate lungs once they're explanted, and then make them transplant worthy again. So that helps a lot of people. But the only facility they have to do that right now is in Silver Spring, Maryland. So that's why that mission is primarily focused on the East Coast, but that'll be expanded.
Where organ donors are involved. I have a friend that has 2 Learjets out of Willow Run Airport in Michigan. It's strictly, you throw that one little cooler in and go. You're not making stops, you're not going anywhere. You could be, that Learjet's gonna go take off there and it's gonna land in Atlanta, Georgia within hours and be done.
Yep.
You can't really be just hopping,
Right.
playing games and all that.
Yep. Yep.
I've had a few people ask me that they're concerned about noise.
Yep.
What does an electric airplane sound like?
It sounds different than a regular airplane because there's propeller noise, but there's no motor noise. So if you're used to like hearing airplanes flying over the football field and you saw our electric airplane come in, you would almost think something's wrong because you hear the noise of the propeller turning, but we're all used to like that motor noise and the exhaust noise that comes along with it, and we don't have that. So it's it's a quieter noise and a very different noise.
Okay.
We can send you some videos, yeah.
Interesting.
And, and not only that, I think it's great. New technology and prosperity, and if, back in the 1800s, if they turned down the Iron Horse because of the noise, the towns wouldn't have prospered too good. So I think that we gotta look into this seriously, and fortunately, I'm for it. I don't know, of course, I'm not calling the shots, but I'm for it, and I believe in prosperity. And like I said, a lot of people said the train made too much noise and scared the cattle and everything, but if they didn't put it through their town, the town didn't exist much longer.
Yeah, we're firm believers of keeping this technology domestic as well. Like, a lot of the drones we buy are made overseas, and that's like a big security concern. Because now you have a bunch of drones that are made not in America, and you don't really know what they could do, right?
Mhm.
Like, electric aircraft is gonna happen.
Yes.
Bunch of people are gonna build electric airplanes, and
Yes.
we want that data
It's the
here.
future.
On that note, it's bad because if my son was here, he'd tell you that they work in conservation and they work with drones.
Yeah,
And they're required to buy American-made chips, et cetera.
Yep.
They're required.
Yep.
And I'm not exaggerating, it's 10-to-1 loss of the American ones to the Chinese ones, even though I always said Chinese is junk. That's my personal opinion,
Yeah.
not the board, not the city,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But they cannot keep the American ones running at
Yeah.
all. Cannot.
Yeah.
And if those drones, they're $20,000 drones.
Yeah.
If they're anything like what you guys are doing, we'll be in trouble if they're all American made.
yeah,
We need to straighten that technology out bad.
yes, we need to, yeah, we do need to.
Because right now, anyone that is flying these $20,000 drones will tell you,
Yeah.
don't buy those chips,
Yes.
don't do that. And I hate to say that because I'm all-American everything,
Yeah.
but boy, they are running into so much trouble out there.
Yeah.
They're crashing into trees, they're losing them left, and you lose them, they're gone.
Yeah.
So I'm scared of that part scared me.
Well, the certification requirements for manned aircraft are much different than the certification requirements for drone.
Yeah, that's all I get to go by. I've seen your pictures, et cetera. I've never had any experience with a real electric aircraft other than drones.
What are some of the other airports that you reached out to
Or
in our area?
yeah, in this area, West Plains and maybe Pomona,
Pomona.
Pomona, yeah.
And why aren't you there in front of them by any chance? Or did you, or will you?
So we
How's it
stopped
back?
conversations with them. So like I talked about, we figure out what airports are sort of 100 miles. We're very, it's awesome that there's a lot of airports out here in most of America. Your airport was like the most warm and welcoming and the first ones to say they were interested in it. West Plains had some other project, I think they were like redoing the runway or something, so they were like, not now, and I think Pomona, maybe we never got a call back from it, I have to look back at my notes.
So say we shoot this down, this does not happen. Where do you go from here? Do you make contact with Pomona?
Yeah, probably go to West Plains or Pomona.
Willow Springs, did you try Willow Springs?
They were a little bit off course from where we wanted to go. Yeah, they have control towers, is that right? They're a little bit.
I don't know much about Willow Springs Airport.
I think it's a lot smaller than ours.
In your investing, et cetera, wouldn't it be, I'm just guessing, something that you should be, you're going into airports
Yep.
and giving us electricity and we're making money on the
Yep.
electricity and another 10% on most of the stuff, et cetera. It doesn't take that big a fancy airport for those, does it?
Yep.
Where you could just build a strip every now and then.
Building
Private
and maintaining an airport is a lot of expense, Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that much to it,
Oh, yeah.
even for these.
even for, and the instrument approaches are a big thing too, to establish and maintain an instrument approach, which is like today when we landed, the clouds are low, so we have to fly an instrument approach, that's a lot of money.
Well, personally, and as mayor, I hope we pass it. I like to see the town grow, but that's, like I said, it's not up to me. We've got, if we've got another alderman coming in here right now, and maybe she might have a question for you before we, she was,
What are the chances, say, in the futures when this picks up more, other big companies are going more electric and flying their cargo in, that because in our area, we have an electric charging station,
Yeah.
that UPS, you said, they might want to build a distribution center here, fly their cargo in here to us. What would you say the chances are of something like that happening?
It's a good question. I don't know that much about UPS's operations out here.
Yeah.
I would say like that would be, I don't really know. I think that would be driven, if I had to say, like based on cargo volume. So like if all of a sudden everyone started ordering a lot more stuff from Amazon or Walmart or something, that's what would really drive that probably.
So there is a potential that it could boost the economy for Mountain View, say.
Yeah,
If we're the only one having a charging station in our area.
yeah, if you're the only one that has a charging station, then that's where
We're gonna
electric
be more
airplanes are gonna
attractive.
go. Yeah.
And is UPS, I've seen on TV where they're even gonna make their vans electric. So if we had all that, there's a good potential we could get a warehouse in here,
Yeah, so that's the other aspect we work on, is when we work with a customer like UPS, who's electrifying the ground transportation as well as the air transportation, is why we also have the charger be able to work with both. So that way they can have one charger that does the arrival van and then also the electric airplane.
while they're charging, do they have to stay with the plane while they're charging, or can they plug it in and come up and have lunch?
Yeah, they could plug it in and walk away.
And come up and have lunch downtown here?
Yep.
Mr. Michael, you got any questions that you can think of for?
No, I mean, obviously we haven't talked to contract or anything like
Yeah.
that, we're just in the beginning stages of getting the information.
Well, he's a contractor, aren't you?
Am I,
You're the contractor, you're the one that did it.
oh, yeah. So we could talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We have a form contract that's.
Since you're footing the bill to put everything in, you hire the contractors.
Right.
I would just be curious to see the contract, obviously, before anything gets signed, but
Well, especially our city attorney.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, should we turn it over to the audience? Is the audience got any questions?
I do. So in order for you to fund this project,
Yeah.
you're gonna require a contract with the city, right?
Correct.
How many years?
10 years.
10 years?
We got a,
So the only money the city makes is the kickback on the electric?
Correct. Yep.
And the electric bill.
And you handle the contracts for the people who want to distribute merchandise, right?
No, we just sell them the airplanes.
Well, there's a reason you're funded by Amazon, because we're gonna wake up one morning and our airport is gonna be full of somebody else's planes, that the only thing we get is a kickback on electric. And then we're gonna have Amazon. Amazon's been trying to do an infrastructure of their own delivery system for the last 5 years. So what you're doing is running around setting up stagecoach stops for electric drones. And we're not gonna make any money off it, except the kickback on electric, which when a private company kicks back to a city, that legality is questionable.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but
And we're gonna be stuck with a 10-year contract, and you can't tell us how many planes are gonna land, or drones are gonna land, what the volume is gonna be, what the charge is gonna be, who's gonna do the maintenance on the airport when something goes to hell. So I think we should pass on this because there are too many unknown questions, and the only one that's gonna make any money is you.
yeah, it's an interesting take.
It's not interesting, that's what it is, that's why you have a contract. Because once your proposal is voted on, it's no longer a proposal, it's a contract. And since our city attorney didn't receive a copy of it to read, did you?
No, but
No,
I
we
don't
haven't
think we're
read, but
through
we
the
haven't-
contract
yeah.
stage yet.
Yeah.
We have a resolution that I was gonna run to the council tonight, a resolution of the city of Mountain View, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute the necessary documents with Beta Technology and associated contractors for the purpose of installing an electric plane charging station at the Mountain View Municipal Airport.
Yeah, but it's already, you've already said with the intent to install the charging
Sure.
stations. Once you install the charging stations and you don't go with this contract, what are you gonna do with them?
We would
This
only,
is-
We make,
This is going to be a big
we'll make
mess.
just as much money off electric as we do right now, where airplanes fueling up at our fuel tank.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
But he wants a 10-year contract in 4 years when you've got 15 or 20 Amazon drones parked out there and the little trucks lining up to deliver that stuff, and the only thing we make money on is a few cents on kilowatt prices, we're gonna be screwed.
well, I mean, you can, the airport could also charge them for parking and hangars and to store the airplanes there, just like you charge
Then the
others.
city's in business and they can't do that.
Sir, your turn.
As far as the contract goes,
Yeah.
shouldn't we be able to see what's in the contract
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
it's voted on?
Yeah, we can send you a copy of the contract.
Okay, another thing, let me see here. Okay, you said that Beta's gonna pay for the electric.
Yeah.
Does that include the electric to run the chargers?
Yes,
That is?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that Teslas can only be ran on Tesla chargers, right?
correct.
Only superchargers. Regular Tesla chargers can be ran on other EVs.
Yeah, so the Tesla plug is different
The
physically,
superchargers.
and the regular plug to the destination charger. So
Yeah.
like for charge point charger, like
It's suited for a variety of EVs that can be charged off a regular Tesla charger.
they have two flavors now because they got so much pressure on this, but like the most EVs use the J1772 plug, which is like the standard plug, and then Tesla has their own plug. So when you order like a non-supercharger Tesla, you have to tell them if you want the Tesla one or the one for everyone else.
Okay, what is the one West Plains has? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. And will this be a charging station to also charge vehicles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can put a plug in the.
What's the average cost to completely charge a plane?
The average cost, I don't know what the utility price is here, but it's probably around like $40 or $50 to charge a plane.
So we'll be making about $4 a charge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the electricity.
Plus the electricity that.
That we're using
Plus electricity
from
our meter.
yes.
That is
And that also brings up another question about, which I'll get into later whenever we're not just talking to him. That's, as of right now.
Yeah, he pays us 10%. He pays us 10% from his,
So we'll get $4 for every charge of
and
it.
then.
And the electric bill.
And the electric bill.
Yeah.
Running, yeah.
But should you not be making money on the electric?
That's what I
You should
said.
not be making money on the electric.
Yes.
You should not be.
Why?
Is it not against the
Huh?
ordinance?
We make money on electric.
You should not be making money on electric.
Well, we make profit, but we turn around and invest it back into the electric. We don't make money and put it in the general fund, if that's what you mean. but it also upgrades our system, and we can use that money to buy digger trucks, more employees, and pay them a decent wage that they deserve.
It used to be going into the general fund, did you change it?
Yes.
Yes, we changed it. We changed it as soon as we got in office. Is,
I got 3 parts.
Yep.
For the chargers, you're looking at 3 chargers because you're grabbing 3-phase, correct?
It would be one charger.
1 charger
Yeah.
for the 3 phases coming in.
Correct. Yeah.
How much energy does it take in a 1 hour?
It takes about 330 kilowatt hours in an hour.
Okay, in an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. That also explains why the lines have to be upgraded to get to there, because that's quite a bit. In an hour, you're looking at more usage than a block of houses in a day.
Yes, in a day.
Okay,
Yep.
now, that also gets into your high consumption rates
Yep.
as far as so that's gonna put the city, for the power coming in, at a higher rate, and the draw that comes down through, and that's very important. But that's what I need for the first part. Second one is, what kind of fire department upgrades do we need to do to handle electric planes?
Yeah, it's the same as for electric vehicles.
Correct,
Yep.
which is something that we do not currently have, so there's another upgrade for the city that we have to do for having electric planes, correct? Okay, so now that's the safety and the power. The third thing that we're getting into, and I know you're just the sales guy as far as for bringing the planes and everything else in.
Well, I'm the engineer, I'm not
But-
the sales guy.
You're selling planes to other people, so we can't talk about what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay? I know that the planes themselves for thing have less of a use, but we do fuel because that also, the fuel tax goes into everything else that we use. Is there a way of doing electric tax to increase as far as for the hazards and the usage of all the electric planes coming into the airport?
Yeah, I guess that's up to the electric company who sets the tariffs, yeah.
Okay. Those are the 3 points that I've got as far as for right
Yeah,
now.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're just the salesman of the plane, correct? So you,
I'm an engineer for the charger.
but Beta
Yeah.
sells planes, that's
Yes.
all they do.
Yeah,
So they're just trying to set up a pipeline to get their planes to Texas.
to
So
get our
you
planes to
have
Texas, yeah.
5 planes that you're gonna send down there, and then
Yeah.
after that, what does the town get? Do you do marketing or anything like that to get other planes in here, or does the town have to set that up through
We
other
can if the
companies?
town wants us to. Some people want more airplane volume because it's good for the airport because you get more federal funding. Other people don't want more airplane volume because they don't want more airplanes.
Well, you have 5 planes sold, so that'll be over how long?
Like 2024, 2025 probably. And those planes will be going back and forth. So our planes,
So they will go back and
Yeah.
forth, it's not just down and
it's
done?
not just one time down and done, yeah.
So this is gonna be kind of a route, like she said.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a route back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
Yeah.
take it down and stop.
Yeah.
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 That's a huge draw.
Yes.
Can the town support that? Drop?
Well, he wouldn't. How's that affect, I want to ask our electrical department, how's that affect our demand? The demand that we have to pay extra for?
On putting their service in,
Yes.
okay, the size of their service they're wanting to put in is not, it's not gonna draw as much power as Town and Country did.
But they have a good size demand.
Yeah, I mean, and so, but the demand, we'll set the demand on their high usage, and they pay that demand. But like on, what, they were talking about on our, making us go over peak to have to pay more for our electric that we buy, it won't do that. And for the amps that it's gonna draw, for the primary amps, I've checked with Fletcher Reinhardt Engineers, and the amps that are on that line, it is gonna be sufficient. You know, I don't have the exact numbers for,
It's not going to hurt our overall demand.
no, it's not gonna hurt our overall demand. And talking about rebuilding the line, when they first come to talk to us about this job, and they wanted us to put this electric plane charging station in, I was like, how long is it gonna be till we have a plane coming in? Because that's how we're gonna make our money back, is selling kilowatts, and it's gonna be a long time. So I said, the city, we're not interested, because we're gonna have to pay all this money out and not receive anything. And so they kept on me, said, we really wanna go with Mountain Dew, and I said, well, the best thing to do is, the only way we're probably gonna do it is if you pay for the installation, labor, material and everything to do it. And so that's why they come, so they would pay for it, because I didn't feel that it was good for the city to foot the bill on everything.
Go
Go out on a limb and not be able to sell the kilowatts to re-amp our funds. So with them doing that, we have B-phase down at the airport now, which that's two-phase, and it is undersized because it comes from over behind Richard Brothers' old farm store and goes to it. So we couldn't come that way. But we have 4-aught three-phase on West James. So that's why we're coming off of there. And then they're gonna go from there down to Five Corners and upgrade the conductors, just so,
It'll handle that instant draw for the hour.
yeah, and he said they can
And the
adjust
voltage drop.
And he's got an explanation too on that.
to
It makes a
adjust
lot of
the
sense,
draw.
too.
Yeah, so we can change, one of the parameters we can set is the ramp rate, so how
Yep.
fast does it go from like 0 to full
0
power?
to 1,000.
Yeah, and make that, and adjust that, work with the utility to adjust that, so that way it's not just like 0 to 1,000 immediately.
That's just for one charger. right?
Yep, correct.
What happens if the volume increases and you need 2 or 3 chargers?
Then we'd ask you about putting in 2 or 3 chargers.
Then the same questions about electrical draw and all that are tripled. So, and with a 10-year contract, we're stuck.
The 10-year contract would be for one charger. So under the 10-year contract, we can't just come back and like put more stuff in the ground.
Since we're looking at battery and solar, what about a solar farm?
Yeah, so in
Is,
the,
is it something that can be done with that, your plain system?
Yep. Yeah, so we can do solar and we can do batteries. We do have some airports that are doing like big solar farms, so they do the solar farm with the charger at the same time and maybe a battery. We have had some airports that have bought the charger, because the airports figured out some way to fund that, because they want to be able to get, instead of just 10%, they want to get 100%, right? So whatever, you all want to do, but
What's the size of the charger?
what's it look like? Great question. So there's 2 boxes that we call power towers that are about 3 foot square, so like call it a refrigerator. There's 2 of those that we put like near where that, I think we put them near where the drainage ditch is on the road there by the sign. And then the charger itself that we put by where the airplanes park is about 4 foot by 4 foot.
Okay, so it's not the fixed systems like they found online,
Like what?
like online your stations?
No, it's not like the big thing with the elevated tank. That's a totally different thing. That we put off airport.
Okay.
So like, if a customer wants to be able to land like in an industrial park, or we have a customer who, whatever, does something else and they need to fly these into a pig farm, and they want to be able to land and take off vertically because there's not a runway at the pig farm, so we put those in there so they can fly in and out of the pig farm.
So it's just the charger, it's not all
Yeah,
the
it's just the
extra
charger, it's
stuff?
not the other,
Okay.
yeah, great question. Thanks for looking at the webpage.
Have you been looking to see, at what capacity is our substation running right now?
Black and Beach, I think, looked at that,
Okay.
and someone else looked at, yeah, so we use Consult.
Do we know what percentage we're running at as a city as of right now?
What percentage we
Of our
run,
substation, like the capability of it, at what capacity are we at on our substation?
like on a day like today,
Just an average throughout the month?
well, that varies. July, December versus March, September, when you're not, air conditioners, heaters aren't running full board.
What about the highest one, so that way we can make sure
Yeah.
it wouldn't
To
be
see.
The peak,
Yeah.
those will go, on that circuit that he's on over there, they'll go 140 amps a phase, and max is about 4 1/4, 425 per phase.
Okay, so we're running below capacity.
Yeah,
Well,
Okay.
we do have requests for not using heavy stuff on hot days and stuff around here. So that's my concern is if we're gonna have a brownout time, are we gonna have more affected by this charger going in?
Well, one thing is your demand, which in November was $11,000 you billed. $5,000 was disappearing from custom fab. So the city is gonna lose $60,000 in demand, but it should help what your issue is about demand. Custom fab is not gonna have a $5,000 a month bill anymore, so your billing's gonna go down 5,000. Does that tell me the demand is gonna drop overall?
They're bringing in new business, so it'll be going back up.
Custom pad is? What are they gonna run?
I don't know yet. They didn't give me all the details.
So that's my concern, is we already have
Yep.
requests to not run air conditioners during certain times and dryers during certain times. And bringing this extra draw on us,
Yep.
is that gonna cause us to get more of those? Because I pay my bill,
Yep,
and I don't wanna not have my power because you guys wanna charge me.
yep.
Because this is a consistent draw, correct? 24 hours a day.
No, it's only when an airplane's there.
Only whenever it's charged,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
won't draw power?
No,
Okay,
yeah, it's just like your phone charger, but
Right.
like a lot bigger.
okay.
It'll draw, but it's not gonna draw enough that we're gonna see it. Cause you have your
Right. I mean, there's like a light on it.
Yeah, your
like-
monitoring systems and stuff,
Yeah.
they draw, but not.
But that's like less than a home computer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, as far as the 10% of profits that we get,
Yeah.
is that after you guys recover the cost of installation and everything?
Awesome question. It's not.
It's
So
not.
it's just like take what we collect from billing people to charge,
Mhm.
subtract our electric bill, you get 10% of that, so it's before capital recovery.
Okay.
What about
Plus
insurance?
there'll be a monthly fee minimum on that meter, right
Yeah.
Kyle?
That, for them to pay?
Yeah, for them to pay, and I don't know what that figure is, Kyle, but a monthly fee on the
It'll
commercial
be commercial,
Yeah.
use would be,
and it'll have a peak, when set,
Yeah.
and this peak will be set when they're pulling, when they're charging, because that'll be their highest
Yeah.
time they use, so they'll have for their demand, they'll have a demand.
but they will
set.
get a bill every month,
Okay.
Yeah.
Every month.
And we'll have,
whether they use it or not.
yeah, and we'll have a demand charge, which homes don't have a demand charge. So that's like the separate piece for the commercial billing, right? So we pay directly, so any demand that we cause, we pay directly for. Where at homes, you don't pay for that.
What about liability? What if somebody parks or puts their plane there and they plug it in and something happens and it destroys the plane?
Yep.
Who's responsible for that because they're in the city?
So we
Would that be your
provide,
charger or would that be against the city because it's on our property?
yes,
That will be that.
yeah, so we do provide insurance,
Okay.
and we provide an insurance certificate to the city.
Okay.
And then it comes down to like, was it a problem with the charger or a problem with the plane, right? Or like, did a squirrel? eat
So
through
that would be your fight, your legal
Yeah,
fight.
that's like our fight,
not
because
the
our insurance would respond to it. And then it's up to our insurance company to and the plane's insurance company to figure out.
Okay, I think there's confusion on this 10%. What are we getting the 10%
The cost,
on? On your profit?
Yeah.
Where's your charge? Okay. One says, okay, we got a meter there,
Yeah,
and you'll get a bill on that meter.
yeah.
And then the 10%, we just get 10% of our meter reading back?
Yeah, so we pay the electric bill, right? No matter what, we pay the electric
Right,
bill,
okay.
right? Or you guys can turn off the electricity, right? But we pay the electric bill. Then, say at the end of a month, we've charged 500, we've billed customers $500 to charge.
Okay,
And you send us a bill for $300 worth of electricity.
okay,
So then there's $200 of profit, right?
Right.
So then you get 10% of that 200.
gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
That's on top of paying the electric bill.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's gonna cost me a minute to fill up my electric plane using your charger, when I could just be buying it from the
See,
city.
so this is the self-regulating thing that, yes, so it will cost you more, but then you have to go in and put in the charger, right? Which is not cheap. But then the self-regulating function that we have is one of the reasons a lot of people buy our airplanes is because to operate on electricity is less money than to operate on jet fuel. So if we make the electricity price too high, then if you make it so high, they say we're just gonna operate on jet fuel, right? So like, it's a self-regulating function where we can't get greedy on the electricity price, because then everyone will say, I'm not gonna buy electric. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Why can't we get a landing fee? If UPS wants to land 30 planes out there,
Yep.
why can't they give us $25 a landing
Yeah, that's up to the airport, for
to go
sure.
into the general fund? This way, the electric goes back into the electric, and the other way, we have money for the general fund to take the pressure off other stuff.
Yeah, and that would be up to the airport to set landing fees. We don't operate the airport.
So UPS or Amazon will be contacting our mayor or our council to say, hey, we want to land the planes in your airport. What's your requirements? What's your fees?
We would have a contract through them.
Through them, not through,
Yeah, not
they
that
just
you guys.
can't come in
Yeah.
and land in our airport, correct?
But you want-
Well, they can.
Yeah.
Like, I
They
just
can
came
now.
in and landed a plane here.
They can now.
Didn't talk to anyone.
Oh.
I just came in and landed a plane here without talking to anyone.
You know, and our federal funding for the airport is based on traffic in and out of our airport as well.
We get, we get 150,000 a year grant on that airport. Every year.
And let it go up with more traffic.
How much
That's
would it go up?
Maintenance.
That's based
How
on
much-
actual traffic too.
How much-
So more traffic,
Sorry.
more grant, right?
Yeah.
The more traffic we have, then.
How much more funding will we get for that one plane? Because are we insured that one plane a month is gonna come in?
Yeah.
No, okay. So is there any, like, how much traffic are we looking, because I heard one plane a month you were thinking is gonna come through here to go to Texas, correct?
Yeah, and then back to Vermont.
And then back to
Yeah.
Vermont, so is that plane gonna land here to charge once a month?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's not like on a predetermined route
Correct.
for however many times throughout the,
I'm thinking if we start charging airplanes to land, then we'll lose our grant.
Very possible.
I wasn't talking about that.
But on a nice day, you could
I was-
potentially
yeah, no,
see
Oh,
this
I'm
is a
sorry.
totally
the
different
second
subject.
one, right? Because it's 200 miles.
Maybe, but not right now, because we have to land with at least 30 minutes of energy, like in your flight planning. So practically, like, you would never do that, because it wouldn't be a legal flight.
And sometimes these grants is based on environmental stuff, you know, just like our park grant. If we did a certain thing, you get more money if you went green. And so some of these grants is based on
Yep.
the,
So is there certain environmental stuff we could do, like having the electric charger there, would that like bring up more
Yes.
for the grant?
Yes.
just like what.
Do we know how much more?
No,
That's
no,
according to
it's,
what grant that you're applying for, and that's just like up there at Wayside, when we was talking to the engineer, and if we would put a charging station up there, but then we figured, no, that's not right, because then the city's making the money and should go to that, maybe filling station over there. But anytime you go a little green,
Yeah, there's always a tax incentive.
yes.
That's like when they buy an electric vehicle, they have a tax write-off
So our
deduction.
$150,000 that we get automatically could go up because of,
It could, but not guaranteed.
no,
No,
they have no way of government control.
it's according to what grant
and it
you.
could be a matter of just making it a little easier to get the same amount of
Same,
money.
yeah.
So,
And as far as the charging network, you said you came here because we were a little more welcoming than West Plains and the surrounding areas. Is there any more reasons why you decided here with our smaller grid compared to the West Plains area? Were they just not susceptible to you guys at
No,
all?
I think they were like repaving their runway or something.
Okay.
So I mean, like, Eddie was super friendly when we reached out to him.
Mhm.
And I think, again, I'd have to look back in my notes, I think it's just, they were like, hey, they had some other project going on, so they were like, not now, maybe in the future.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Main thing that you're running right now is the Air Force. So why did we look here instead of Fort Leonard Wood, which is a actual Army air base that has an airfield and is already mandated by the federal government to upgrade to electric?
Yeah, twofold. So the Agility Prime, which is what our contract is under, is focused on not defining an aircraft and then having like us make an electric aircraft. They want something that there's also civil uses for, like
Okay.
with UPS. It's an Army, not an airfield, and
Well,
like,
it's a civilian-owned airfield within an Army
Yep.
base, but they still are mandated.
yeah, I'd have to look back at exactly why not there.
How many customers does Beta have altogether?
We, aircraft customers?
Yeah, that could be utilized to come here and charge their planes. Like, how many flyers you got?
We have 4 aircraft customers right now.
Just 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
And no planes in active flying.
2 planes in active flying.
Okay.
Cal,
Okay, so Beta's gonna pay for the transformer
Yeah.
put in. They're gonna pay for the underground wire to go up, pay for the poles, redoing the line.
Yeah.
All that. So, and then from out of the transformer, you're gonna come out with your power and put your charging stations in.
Correct.
Okay, but you've done paid for all this.
Yep.
So, say in 10 years, you know, 'cause you'll have the 10-year contract with us, Beta's done for, you know, nothing else. I
Yeah.
mean, they've never charged a plane here. What happens then? Do you want your money back for the system that you paid to put in?
No,
It's ours.
that's yours.
Do you yank the system out?
We can, it's one of the open, there's like a, almost choose your own adventure in the contract. So, at the end of the contract, we can either figure out a way if like the airport wanted to continue operating the charger, for the airport and the city to continue operating the charger, just like you operate fuel. Or we come in, we take the charger out, we get rid of the concrete pad it was on and plant grass there. And the transformer would stay, because I assume the airport would want like the 3-phase power we paid to run there. But like the charger area gets restored to grass.
But the transformer and the 3-phase power line would all stay property of the
Yep.
city at zero cost.
Yep.
Well, you just,
And at the end-
you just clarified that
at
it's
the
not
end-
property of the city. You said at the end of 10 years.
No, just the
Just the charger.
Just the
Just the
charger.
charger.
Just-
And what's that cost? What's the cost to buy a charger?
If you wanted to buy a charger, it's about $200,000 just for the charger.
And you have an estimate of what it would take to upgrade it?
I think the total estimate for this, including the chargers, is about $350,000.
It's gonna take 180 to bring it from 5 points bigger than this.
Well, and all the sites, right, we have to do with the permit. It's like we gotta, so we have to permit with the FAA, we gotta permit with whoever's the electrical inspector's gonna be, right? Like, so all of that, our average site cost right now is about $380,000.
380,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you require our airport to be up to certain
Smaller boats, smaller wire.
codes, rules, regulations? Like, does it have to have a bathroom for your pilot to get out and use the bathroom and open? I mean, does your contract require any of that specific stuff? Okay.
No, it doesn't. And if you're getting FAA grant money, that means you're meeting the grant obligations, which
So
are,
it's pretty,
yeah.
At the end of that 10-year contract,
Yeah.
would we maybe go into like an open contract with you guys to keep it there if it was being utilized?
You could, yeah.
Or would it just be another sign-on for a 10-year contract?
We haven't gotten to 10 years on any of the contracts yet. And there is, I think there's an option for a mutual renewal, and we can set what that would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
how many charges do you have now?
We have 12 that are operational, and we have 63 that are in permitting.
63 times $380,000?
Yes, sir.
And you only floated at 348, how much did you say you had that capital in that Series A?
About 400 million.
100 million? You're gonna burn through cash pretty quick.
We are a cash consuming business, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least
right now, they're
How are you gonna refinance more?
Uh,
Where are you getting the money more?
We're gonna close, we'll do another investment round, and then we'll start selling airplanes. Yep, each airplane's about $4 million.
$4 million?
Are you private?
Yes.
Wow.
The airplanes cost $4 million?
I mean, you want.
Versus down for 10.
Versus a gas?
Not three's enough.
Yeah, so,
You can buy a lot of gas for that
well,
difference.
yeah, so Cessna Caravan's about the same price, and that's the same cargo volume that we
About the same price,
Yep.
gas, okay.
Do we plan on getting most of our revenue from plane or vehicle?
In the beginning, I would say vehicle, and then it really depends. So what's gonna drive the volume, what we see driving the volume is flight operations, right?
Mhm.
And eventually, as there's more and more aircraft, or electric aircraft, there will be more and more aircraft chargers.
Mhm.
So just like every airport right now has, most airports have fuel pumps, like people will be coming here because they have something to do here, right? In the beginning, people will come here with electric airplanes because it'll be the only electric airplane charger in the area, right? As time goes on, there'll be more and more electric airplanes, more and more electric airplane chargers, and then it'll be like, why is someone flying to Mountain View?
do we even have any, I only know one electric car in this town.
That's
Do
what,
you have electric cars?
Do I?
Does the company?
Yes.
So would they use that
Here.
in the meantime here?
Oh, we don't have like a presence here.
So then how would we make the money off of the electric cars?
If
for
there's,
charging.
if an electric car, if more people in town bought an electric car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
No, yes.
people came through basically.
So we'd have to advertise that we have a charger
Right.
to be able to.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
But there's also,
The wiring is the
There's also
upgrades
one
that
West
you're doing,
Plains.
Yeah.
will that be enough to where, say later on you want to add a charger, two
Yeah.
chargers? How many chargers can actually run off the upgrades that you're doing?
So we typically size those wires and the transformer to supply power to 3 chargers. We contract to install 1 charger, And then in the future, if we wanted to go back and install the second one, the town would have to agree to it. And then if we wanted to install a third one, the town would have to agree to it.
Okay, so if the town agrees to it, then by agreeing to it, do we pay for that, or would you be, once again, would you guys pay for the upgrade? Or is that something that would have to be negotiated?
So we would do the upgrade now for all three.
Right, it's gonna be upgraded for 3.
Yep.
But if you wanna go from 1 to 2.
Yep.
Who puts the second charger?
We put the second charger in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like I badly worded that question.
No, I got you now with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless for some reason there was, you all fell in love with electric airplanes and there were a bunch of electric airplanes coming and you said, we want 100% instead of 10%, so just sell us the charger and we want that.
No, we need that money.
Yeah.
Less worried buying the
Yeah.
airplanes.
There's FAA grants though, like that's the other thing too we can help you with, is like looking at airport improvement funding, AIP funding, to apply for grants, to do like more.
Now, these are all manned aircraft. I heard somebody saying drone earlier.
Yeah.
These are not drones.
These are not drones, they're manned piloted aircraft.
Okay.
Are they gonna be drones?
Are they gonna be drones?
Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be a long time before the FAA lets a 7,000-pound thing fly around. You can't even I think it was a big milestone when Amazon or UPS did a delivery, like a 2-mile delivery with like a 25-pound drone, like delivering a latte or something, and your son probably flies those drones all the time and they're super capable, but I think that's gonna be very, very far out in the future.
Did you fly in an electric plane tonight?
I did not, because there's no place to charge it.
Well, you can go to Judy's house. She worked extension cord.
How much space is it take? How much space is it gonna require?
All in, it's the 2 boxes that are about the size of a refrigerator, and then another box that's a 4-foot square.
For the plane, 50-foot.
Oh, yeah, for the plane, it's,
1 portal or 2 portals? You can charge 1 plane at a time?
yes, you charge 1 plane.
And so how much space do you need to roll that 50-foot wing?
About half the ramp space that's over at the airport.
Will we enter into a non-compete clause as far as other chargers?
Nope, so the only thing that's in there about that is for the electric service that we pay for, you can't put another charger on the service that they just paid for.
Does that include the whole grid or just
Nope, just
at the
like,
airport?
just those cables that are going from 5 corners under the ground in that transformer, like anything we pay for, you can't put another charger on, because it's not fair if we pay whatever it's gonna be to upgrade the service, and then someone comes else in and puts in a charger,
So
right?
if the city wanted to say put 2-3 vehicle chargers out
Yeah.
somewhere, they would be free to do so?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
long as it didn't run off the same.
Right,
power
like
supply.
off that same, like the upgrade that we paid for, you can't, it says you have to have like our consent, so like,
But after 10 years, would we be able to?
yeah,
Yeah,
after
yeah.
10 years, the contract's like all over, yeah. What we don't wanna do is pay like a lot of money to do that service upgrade, and then someone else comes in and they're like, oh, thanks, and we're just gonna put this here because they paid all the money for it, right?
From the time the contract's signed to the time the work is finished,
Yeah.
how long is that process?
It's probably like 6 to 10 months right now.
Okay.
The limiting factors that we see are the FAA, because the FAA has to approve us putting the charger there to make sure it's not like a hazard to flight, right? I don't think we've worked with this, so they have airport district offices, ADOs who like manage airports. So the ADO needs to review that, they need to approve it, they usually have questions. That we see taking anywhere from like 2 to 4 months. And then, once we do that, we have to order the electric equipment, and right now there's like, lead times are all over the place on that.
And you do all of that?
Yeah,
Our
we
city
do all
doesn't do any of that?
No.
You're gonna order like all the power pole, the poles?
That's up to Black and Beach to work it out with you guys.
Yeah, when I talked with Black and Beach, what they wanted me to do was I ordered all the stuff, and I got quotes on everything, and then they paid for it. Yeah, so,
And they install it, but not our city employees.
yeah, we're not installing nothing. I had subbed out with the Kiowa contractors that are doing our line work here. I had them bid that, and I had 4 to 5 different people bid the equipment, the materials, and everything, the transformers, which I only had 2 people come up with transformers. One was a 70-week wait, and the other one was a 20-week wait.
Yeah, the transformers are a big lead time right now.
How quickly are you looking to install? Is
Uh,
this something you're gonna try waiting on for a few years for the EV to really advance, or are you trying to get in and do this now?
Like, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it'd take like 10 months, you said, time you got it operating.
That's what we're seeing is anywhere 6 to 10 months. It depends, the two things are how long does it take the FAA to approve it, and then what's the transformer and switchgear lead time. And those are the two things that limit us. Like the actual site work's like 2 or 3 weeks. You know, it's like a lot of hurry up and wait. Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't.
I'd like to compliment you, you're doing an excellent job.
Do we?
I'm trying.
Very good
We
job.
do got the contract, the resolution.
Very good.
Thank you.
Do what?
We had a resolution last month.
Now, I think this was covered, but this is in no way gonna affect any of the,
Forward.
any of our electric usage at our houses, right? I mean, because of the ramp up deal, so that,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
that's what I thought I
Yep.
heard.
The charger's UL certified and UL listed and FCC compliant, like it's got all the little stickers, like, yeah, everything we need. Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard.
It will,
Yeah,
it will affect us.
you think so?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're already having power demand call-offs and stuff, so adding more to that, if we have multiple planes coming in and charging, especially during hot times, that's gonna cause more brownouts for us. It's gonna cause more issues for us.
So on, to address this question, we get notified from MPEP or MPUA
Right,
on days when it's possibly gonna get so hot, or it might go over peak,
yeah.
and we notify everybody. So we would notify
Them not to come in.
you guys, or somebody, whoever's flying the plane here, you know, if it's busy, going crazy, you know, if we happen to get what we're charging about the plane, and they would be on limited, we could limit them coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't say.
But you said that we didn't have to ask for permission when you
Yeah.
came in, so how would you know that?
Because we can curtail the charger. So depending on the, so either we can like manually curtail the charger, or there are some standardized communication protocols like ADR 2.0 that our charger speaks. So like some of the larger utilities in New York can automatically curtail our
So
charger.
smart system, earlier, we can get more data, we can digest.
Yep.
Digest, we can go by now.
Yeah,
It won't all be.
makes a lot, one flight in electric plane makes a lot
So is it
of.
gonna require internet?
We put a cell phone on it.
Yeah, you don't have to sell them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just transfer them.
Exactly.
Automatic billing.
Yes, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and all the customers who have it, either have an app or something, or they plug in the plane, and the plane belongs to you, and then get your credit card. Yep. No, we're debating like a monthly subscription that might give you a discount, like access to discounts that exist for, fuel for airplanes now. You can pay like, almost like a Costco membership for fuel for airplanes, and different airports have it, or like if there's 2 places to buy gas at an airport, like one might do your discount program, so you're more likely to go there. So it's something that like aircraft operators are very accustomed to, of like paying these fixed membership fees for discount and operating costs. So we might do something like that, just cause like airport or airplane operators expect it.
Okay, you said that it has 4 customers?
Yeah,
What do they stand to gain for, you said they have what, 63 permitting chargers, 12 chargers, and with one wanting to come in here.
Yeah.
What do they stand to gain by all these chargers to so little customers?
because each customer's buying a few hundred airplanes.
Each customer's buying a few hundred airplanes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking 500-600 airplanes between those 4 customers? if-
I would love
Depending.
that,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
we'll see.
Has there been a actual bot yet, or any talks of actual numbers yet?
Yep, so, from Blade, we have actual numbers, and from UPS. If you Google those,
Blade and UPS?
yep,
Who's your biggest competitor?
our biggest competitor.
Textron?
So Textron just bought an electric airplane company yesterday out of Slovenia.
Right.
They just bought Pipistrel. We own 2 Pipistrel electric airplane trainers that we train our pilots in. Joby is a little different than us because they are gonna operate the airplane, where we don't wanna operate the airplane. So Joby's model would be like if Boeing started Boeing Airlines, you know? And we just wanna be like a Boeing where we sell airplanes to people who then go on and operate it. So like they do make an eVTOL. They're focused on passenger, where we're focused on cargo right now, and eventually we'll go to passenger. We have a very like friendly relationship with them because the industry's only gonna succeed like together, like not if we have infighting. But they're heavily focused on urban air mobility, so like moving people over traffic in San Francisco, and we're focused on cargo. So they do sell like a competitive product, but I don't think like someone's gonna be like, oh, do I buy a Beta and Leah to move my packages or a Joby because they're really designed for passenger.
I have a question.
Chip, Ms. Wagner, you got a question?
As far as regarding like the car chargers and
Yeah.
everything like that, are there any regulations, rules, anything like that as far as our parking lot, any lights illuminating the area, access to it, like so much feet on a parking spot?
That would be local.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's something we can decide.
Yeah.
Okay,
FAA has a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
They don't like a lot of pedestrian cars on the airport.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so like,
That's what I was,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
what
like
I was
the-
worried about when we said cars, is you're putting it on an airport. That ain't
so it would
gonna
be, we would have another plug like where the parking lot is.
go.
So like, yeah, the car side would be
On one side.
on the
Where
parking
cars
lot
are
side.
So
already
you'd have two
parked
chargers or
now,
just two plugs?
that's where they're-
Two plugs. Yeah, and it's a much smaller charger for the car. It's like, yeah, exactly.
FAA is real strict about, you know, where the football players
Yeah.
park. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
we had to cable it, because they was wanting to park out
Right.
in front. So
I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to do anything special to
Right,
like
right.
repave or any,
Right.
anything like that to our parking
Yeah,
lot,
so-
or add lights or anything.
Yeah, that's up to you totally. Like we've had some towns that said like they have requirements on where the EV charger is in the parking lot and stuff like that. So that's totally up to you.
But we
all.
can delegate that, like
Yeah.
that's not something that you,
No,
okay,
that's not something we decide.
okay.
Yeah, and every airport has, in the airport layout plan, has like the line of like technically what's the airport, so like the parking lot's not part of the airport, even though it is part of your airport. But like the FAA only does the air side of it, not the ground side of it.
If the FFA has requirements beyond what we have here.
Yep.
And beyond your scope of the contract.
Yep.
Are you guys gonna make those upgrades, or is that on us to make those upgrades?
It's a good question. I think we'd have to look at that, and it would depend what the upgrades are. If you're getting FAA grant money annually, you're in compliance with your grant
Right,
obligation.
but that's not in compliance with your charger system. They may have a different compliance based off
Oh,
of how you're
I see
putting
what
your
you're
chargers.
We haven't so we have probably 40 airports with FAA approval right now of like the 63.
Mhm.
We haven't had them impart any additional requirements on the airports.
Are they all small town airports, I thought?
Most are.
Okay.
I would say probably 60% are like county or city-owned airports like this.
Mhm.
And then some of the other ones are like larger, like Manchester, New Hampshire, Burlington, Vermont. Those are towered airports with multiple runways.
I think our biggest concern as a community is we don't want to be out of pocket on anything on this deal.
Yep.
And if we sign a contract with you.
Yep.
And then we refuse to do something FFA says because you won't cover it, then we're in breach of contract because we're not allowing you to put this in. I just want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think, and we'll send the contract over to you, but I don't think there's a requirement in there that says you have to make upgrades required by the FAA.
Okay.
Because our FFA grant will take care of that too. If they require something, they'll pay. It's part of their grant.
Yeah.
Within reason, we're not zoned as an electric plane at the moment, so our grant at the moment wouldn't cover it, but our next grant would. So that's my only question.
If they approve it.
Yeah, if they approve.
Yeah. Yeah, so the airport district office, who's responsible for your airport would see the permit, and then they would make that determination, yep.
I just want to make sure we're not out of pocket on anything.
Sure.
Okay.
If we're not going to see any revenue on it, I don't want to be out of pocket.
Well, at the core, you're a tech company. And
Yes.
tech companies are known to burn through a crap ton of cash.
Yep.
How many years until you guys start realizing a profit? Do you have an estimate?
I don't know if I can share our financials, so I would love to be able to get someone's contact information, and then whatever I can share with that, I would love to
Okay.
share. Maybe there's a way for you to share that with whoever's asking those questions. I'm sorry, I don't get into the finance side, so I don't know
Yeah.
like what's public and what's not.
Okay.
I think right now we can revert to ask Deidre, our lawyer over there, about what our next step would be. You say we go ahead and pass this resolution or get it
So-
voted on?
A lot of people are asking about a contract, and there seems to be a little bit of a misunderstanding with the idea that if you pass that, you are obligated to sign a contract. You are not. That's, you pass a resolution which would authorize moving forward, so that the mayor could talk with them about getting a contract, so that they could send me a contract. I will read it. You know, things like who does maintenance, who's in charge of any sort of repairs, changes, what the actual terms are, stuff like that. I'm going to review all that. It's not like you pass that resolution and then we have to sign whatever they send us. I would not let you guys do that. That is not going to happen. So that's just, if it's something that you are interested in moving forward with and looking into more, you need to go ahead, pass the resolution. That way the mayor has the authority to, especially since you guys are getting ready to turn over, whoever the mayor is has the authority to go ahead and continue to be in communication with these people, receive documents, execute documents as needed. It does not remove any of your bargaining power to do it now, as opposed to doing it once we've already ironed out all of the contract stuff. You know, my entire job is to do the contracting and make sure that that is good for the city before it gets signed off on. So, like you said, you just have a Form 1, you'll send it to me, I'll look at it, I'll let you guys know if there's anything that I think needs looked at or changed or whatever, we can talk about it, and then I would send it back to whoever their legal is and say, either we're good with it or we're not, we need you to change this and this and this, and then that's how we would continue to move forward if it's something that we are interested in pursuing.
This just lets us go forward.
I almost agree with Deidre, but it says in that section 1, I think what you say, what you just said verbally is what I think we would like. But what's written here, it says, be it resolved by the council, etc., as follows. Section 1, the mayor is authorized and directed to execute any necessary documents and agreements with Beta Technologies and associated contractors for the installation of an electric charging station at the
Not the
mountain.
bottom, number one, he's referring to.
Sorry, I didn't bring a copy.
That would be a done deal.
Yeah.
You wrote it for us.
I know, I just didn't bring a copy.
Yeah.
Section 1 is really
Right.
saying that
So,
it's done.
directed in that way doesn't mean you must sign the first thing that you get, though. It means you have we are giving you the authority to do this, and at the point that we decide that you need to do so, you don't get to say no. So one of those things where if you all pass this, and then we hit the point in the bargaining where the council was like, yes, we agree with this contract, we are ready to go, then if Donnie said, no, I don't like it, I'm not gonna sign it, he doesn't get that choice because he is being both authorized and directed to sign what you have told him to sign. So, that's what it means. We can take directed out if you would like and pass it with directed removed.
Do you need that to receive a contract from their company to look back and forth, so that way each of the council members can look over the contracts? Because what I'm looking at as far as for that is if we put a bid out for something goes, the contract stipulates exactly what it is that we're voting on. That contract tells me, okay, I know this is exactly what we're doing. Then we give the authority for the mayor to go, okay, we agree with everything that's here. But without seeing those actual listings, that's too wide open.
So we can do it either way. The issue with this in terms of, I'm just assuming I'm not going to be talking to you. I assume I'm going to be talking to whoever legal is for you guys. Okay. For companies like that, that tends to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of different questions. If it's something where we don't have the authority to move forward with anything until I have already talked to all of those people, gotten all of those documents back and done all of that, we only meet once a month. So the last time we went through one of these with the US Cellular mess, we ended up having to talk about it at like 6 different meetings, and it just took an incredibly long time. So we can do that again.
We could call a special meeting.
Right, or we can do special meetings or things like that. That's up to you guys. You know, from the legal side, I don't see a downside of passing the resolution now, but I don't know that there's also necessarily that you have to. I think it would expedite things a little bit, but it's not required. I mean,
The downside for passing the resolution would be, we would not necessarily have to see the contract before it is agreed upon and just signed and done, correct?
no, we would still have to see it.
We would, the people.
Now, the people
The-
don't sign the
the
contract.
people don't.
I know
see the
we're
contract
not going to sign the
anyway.
contract. I'm saying as seeing the contract of what is going to be signed, like the actual contents of it.
I think it's up to the council to do that.
Yeah,
So we would not be informed on what is actually inside the contract.
The people put,
So
the people,
therefore,
the people put the council in to handle those situations.
then therefore it shouldn't be passed. I
The
mean, right there,
contract
if we
is,
do not know what the contract is stating, it should not be passed.
It will be,
It needs to be in the light, not in the shadow.
right.
the contract is considered a legal document, so
Yeah.
that's not something that
Well,
we
it's going to have a lot to do with
disseminate.
what the operations of how everything is going to go financially and what the city is entitled to do and required to do.
I mean, I know what's in the contract.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But
that's why I'm
what-
explaining it.
But are you saying,
Right,
that-
but-
I think we're confused on what he's saying, the city council reads the contract and reviews it, not
Yes.
us
Right.
as the.
Absolutely,
Okay,
but
right.
we will not know what's in it, and it gives him the authorization just to sign it if he likes it, without us approving, being like, yeah, that's good for the community.
Well,
So
I don't
therefore,
think
if the
I don't
resolution,
think the
so
mayor
therefore, if the
I think the
resolution
whole
is
council
passed,
should sign it.
Yeah, the whole council has to agree for
Yeah.
them to sign the document.
There
Yeah.
will be another, after the contract.
but we would not necessarily be able to hear what is in the contract. Why not get a contract brought forward, him come out and say, hey, this is what the contract is gonna do, this is what the city's gonna have to do, this is what we're gonna have to do. What do you guys think? And then we express our opinions to the city council.
That's the process as far as for gaining a bid on anything.
Council.
I mean, this is a little different because it's not a bid, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not, it's a contract.
it is,
I'm
but it's
sorry.
still a public entity and an actual
Entering into-
city or a municipality, which means there has to be a contract, and
Yep.
it still has to be everything left out. So, yes, it's not a bidding process, and I agree with you on that, but it is still, has to follow a process.
Yes.
Yeah, fully agreed. I mean, from our side, there's nothing in the contract that, it's what I exactly said.
Yeah, but we don't
It's-
trust, I mean, no offense, but we can't just go off what you
No,
said.
no, I totally
You
get it.
know
All
what I
I'm
mean?
saying is I don't care if you guys see the contract, it's been
Yeah.
passed by county legislators. If you Google it in Yates County, New York, it's published as part of.
But New York is very different than
If-
Missouri.
if
Right,
there-
all I'm saying is there are other, the contract is in the public domain.
Mhm.
There's nothing in there.
So it'll be the exact same contract,
Um,
wording and everything?
It's mostly, in essence, it is, they're the red lines that we typically get back are local jurisdictional red lines about we have this law or this requirement for lighting in the parking lot or stuff like that. The intent of the contract is the same.
If there is a contract brought up,
If there's internet, I do, yeah.
Go ahead, Judy.
if there is a contract brought up, then it be brought, the attorney will discuss it all with the council. And then there have to be another resolution brought up, and all the councilman has to approve for the mayor to sign that contract.
So there will be another discussion.
Oh, yes, there will be another discussion on it.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I would throw it out there though, that as far as negotiating the contract and all of that stuff goes, I wouldn't be doing that in an open session anyway.
No, we're
That
not
would
talking
all
about,
be
we're not talking about
closed.
contract negotiations, we're talking about just what is gonna be required of the city, what is gonna be required of Beta. The actual meat and potatoes of the contract.
Okay, I would say, because
I'm not saying I'm gonna
Even
say,
if they
I'm-
just explain it to us, is what
Right.
you.
yeah, I'm not
Okay.
gonna say,
Well, I
I'm gonna
just
say
didn't want
here and
people
tell
to
him we can't
think
do this
that-
as a
right,
city,
we're
I'm not an
gonna
elected official.
I would say, I just didn't want people to think that it was gonna be one of those where I was gonna come back and say okay, well, they sent me this email and they want this and this,
No,
and
but I would
is that
like,
okay with
I
everybody?
would like the people informed
so-
on what is actually gonna be done if signed, you know.
Yeah, if you guys want to have us get the form contract before you pass it, we can do that, and then once we get that, I can look at it and we can do a special meeting to decide whether or not to pass the resolution at that point. If you want to pass it now, and then we do all the contract negotiating, and then we decide whether or not to go ahead and have it be signed, we can do that too.
like with USR and stuff,
Yes.
have the meetings and discuss ever. And if we have a question, then you go back to them, and then we have another meeting, discuss that, right?
Right.
Except that what you said in section 1, if we went ahead and passed this today, section 1 isn't what we're all talking about right now. It's not coming out. It says the mayor And I'm against this mayor, a future mayor, any mayor that could possibly be up here, having to go ahead and direct them to execute any necessary documents and agreements with any technologies, not just Beta. I think you're doing a good job, and I hope to invest in you someday. It'd be fun. But let's face it. I don't want to authorize or direct any mayor to sign documents and agreements with an associated contractors. I don't, there's no way
And that's fine, like I said, I think you're reading
at this time.
authorized and directed differently than it is specifically intended, and that's fine. If you want to alter it, we can alter it. If you want to just wait, we can just wait. That's totally up to you guys. So,
Can we just put it in the minutes of the meeting that the council voted for him to send you, or for his lawyer to send you a contract?
yes, if we want to just move forward.
Because that's all the
with that.
resolution would do anyway.
Yes.
That's all this is, this is really just saying
Yeah,
that he
so
has
if
the right
we-
to sign this
Or we
and
could-
move forward with the contract.
Or we could put this matter to bed and
Sir.
focus our
Sir.
energy on more important matters in the city.
Sir, our question and answers is over. We're gonna settle this right here.
So,
But this is just saying that if the mayor signs this means we can move forward with a contract that you're gonna review.
if you pass the resolution, then you are authorizing and directing the mayor to move forward with any documents, negotiations, that sort of thing that we need to start doing at this point. I think that the first thing that we're going to come into is going to be the contract. I don't think we have to sign anything like we do with the grants in terms of finding engineers or anything like that. Correct, that's all you guys, okay. So the first thing that we're going to hit is the contract, which means that the first thing we're going to do is have them send a contract that then we're going to review, look over, and then decide whether or not you actually want to sign it. And if so, then whoever the mayor is directed to sign it at the point that we want to do that. So if you don't like the wording, totally fine. Like I said, we can change it, we can scrap it and start all over again. This is just the standard language that we use in the resolutions. It's what we've used in all of them. So.
But can't we just skip this resolution and just vote and put it in the minutes of the meeting that we want his company to send you a contract, and then you can review it then?
Yes, if you don't want to go ahead and do an authorization to sign things yet,
Right,
and you just
right.
want to move forward
We
with
want to review the
them
contract.
sending
Is that
documents,
right? You
then
think that's okay?
Yeah,
Chip?
yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, one way or another, you're gonna see the contract, we're gonna talk about the
Right.
contract. If you like the contract, we're gonna sign it and put it in a charger. If you don't like the contract, you're not gonna sign it, and then we're
So-
not gonna put it in a charger.
So,
Right.
can I maybe have a motion here to where we are willing to accept their contract proposal?
No.
To review.
I mean, well,
Right.
to accept them to send you a contract proposal.
Right, so I think what you want at this point is just a motion authorizing me to communicate with them to receive, review, and negotiate a contract. And then decide at what point in there you want me to send it to you guys, if you want to have a special meeting to talk about it, how you want to go about doing that.
Well, I personally, I like that idea. I
Yeah,
personally
I agree.
also want, I have a problem, it's not a problem, but in the audience today, which we had some good feedback, I like seeing that. We've got 12 residents here of the city. And then, I know we had one pilot, he left. I don't know, is any pilots left here, anybody else? I want to hear from pilots. Oh, he left, we didn't hear from him. I'd love to hear that before I'd ever go too much further with it. I want to talk to the guys at the airport that's using the airport. I don't use it.
I can tell you, he texted me as he walked out, and said, sounds like a great opportunity to me, let me know what you guys decide. That's
Okay,
what
that's one pilot.
that pilot
And
said.
that's,
then
that's
the other
been the general consensus I have got as well.
You checked with all the pilots.
And then the other thing is, I'd like to see more community involvement. We've got 12 residents. I'd like to see, I don't know if they'll show up, but another town hall meeting at least, maybe several more before it actually goes completely through, because
Here's your problem.
we gotta involve everybody.
Here's your problem, how much time we got? How much time,
10 months.
how much time, I mean, you want to get rolling.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when are you going to become frustrated and just walk out?
That's good. I don't know. I mean, it's not in our style to give like an ultimatum. We're not like a big company like that where it's like, here's the date, do it, or like, we're gone. You know? Like, if there's like good faith on both sides and we're working towards something, like, that's good. If it's becomes like unproductive conversation, like, that's usually like, it's like, are we making progress or are we not? So like, there's not, I don't have like a date where I'd say like, hey, you have to sign it by this date or we're gone, you know? It's not really.
Well, I would like to see a motion to allow our lawyer to negotiate with Beta Technologies and
Whatever you say.
I was say, I can give it to you
I got it
later.
word for word.
You need
You
that,
got
okay.
it word for word.
So,
I have Deidre to receive, review, and negotiate a contract with Beta Technologies.
Negotiating contract or just discuss the contract?
Review.
You're not really negotiating yet because you haven't signed it yet.
So I would consider negotiating even just stuff like if they had in there things like, you know, if something like, well, like where Cricket said, if a plane gets destroyed, then we have to pay for it, stuff that I would just immediately red flag and send back and say, no,
Negotiate.
like this isn't
Yeah,
happening.
that has to be
Right,
negotiated.
And then
Right, so
subject
that's
to
a
our
formal
review
negotiation.
at a later date.
right, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Well, hang on, so like once
Okay.
Deidre has reviewed it and we've reviewed it and we're happy with it, then we can bring it back for another vote and have a passing vote then on whether or not to proceed to sign that contract.
Right.
yes, and then, and it'd be a public meeting.
I'll support.
So you second?
Yeah.
Okay, all in
Make a
favor?
motion. Aye. Aye.
All right, all in favor.
Thank you very much.
Chip?
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
Chip,
thank
you did a
you.
good job.
Thank you. Yeah, we'd love to engage with the local aviation community on the pilot. We're trying to make as many of our employees pilots. Pilots are very passionate people, I found. So if they don't like it, it probably won't be a surprise. Yeah. There's also, as an aside, a great documentary called Our Towns by James Fallow, who writes for The Atlantic, that talks a lot about small airports like this. That's like worth the watch. It's on HBO. But thank you for the time. Thanks for the questions. I tried.
You knew what you were talking about.
At this,
Did you get grilled that bad?
This isn't the first airport. It was a lot harder for the first one than like the 65th one.
You handled it a lot better than I did whenever I fished it down, so.
You just got a shot at it. Be careful coming back.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Thank you, safe travels.
Great question.
well,
Yeah. Well, if you have a charger, we can
I would like to have a motion to go into closed session. We have a tentative agenda. This meeting also includes a vote to close part of this meeting pursuant to RSMO 610, just 0221, discussion of personnel, as requested by Alderman Wagner. So do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Before you do that, you need to put on the minutes why, that part wasn't posted for the full 24 hours.
Well,
It's fine.
I don't know why it wasn't. It was a surprise to me.
Well, given what it's for, I assume that we've had a personnel issue come up within this time period that we need to talk about.
Yeah, they
Just
couldn't wait until-
somebody needs to say that for the minutes, and that somebody can't be me, so.
You,
Okay, so just for emergency, typically you give 24 hours notice when you're going to go into closed session. Something came up, it was an issue that needed to be addressed. It could not wait until the following meeting, so that's why I put in the emergency closed session meeting, and that can be done, and we got it posted. I referenced Casey Lawrence up at Jeff City, Missouri Sunshine Law Director, and she said that as long as we give that in the minutes of why I wanted to call the emergency meeting, and then send it to Shannon and she got it posted, then we are still within compliance with the Sunshine Law, so.
Now you can do your.
so now I need a motion to go into closed session meeting.
I'll make that
motion. Oh, she made that motion.
Okay, who?
Wagner made the motion, Judy seconded. All in favor?
I was just gonna say, we got a guy who's wanting to ask another question. If that's okay,
Well,
giving a few.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be talked, but I was up all night writing this, and it's all about EV,
About what, sir?
about electric vehicles,
Oh,
about
okay.
the charging and stuff of them.
Yeah.
It goes into great detail on the struggles that even British Petroleum has had with them, as far as being able to turn a profit,
Uh-huh.
especially with how many they got and stuff, so I would like if you guys could read over this.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff in it, a lot of the questions were
Yeah.
answered, but there's also some stuff that has really good.
Oh, good, you made copies, thank you very much.
You made enough copies, too? Did you make 5 copies? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we'll read this and we can, we'll,
But some of those questions were answered, but there's a lot in there that has to do with what Reuters has even found as far as the electric vehicles and stuff. So please look at that.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. So, we got a motion from Ms. Wagner and a second by Ms. Golder, and all in favor? Okay, we're going into closed session. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.